Which allows welcome to Oak Swamp and part 8 of the Leaf, a ratty roadster. Now you find me outside the garage feeling a bit chilly. Fortunately I've got my new Oak Swamp hoodie on, more on that later. So this week on the Leaf, I want to get the rest of the bits of bodywork that need doing sorted this week if I can. I'm not really keen on bodywork at all, very good at it. So if I can get them out of the way now, I'll be happy with that. So I'm going to be cracking on with that. And a bit later, my mate Neil goes up to Neil Tuckett's to look at a Model T. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so continuing on with this bodywork. To finish this, I need to get some inner arches so this bit gets covered up. Now I've gone over in the woods and the Austin 10 Colwyn has given me this. If you watched the video last week, you'll see me chopping this up, and this is for the very reason. Now, I'm looking at this and hoping it's going to be somewhere near. I'm going to give it a measure and see what it does. Well, I'll run the tape over it, and this one's about 33 inches, something like that. And then that one over there is a couple of inches under, so I'm going to cut it off anyway and have a look and see what it does.
Well, let your hair down, get out of that skirt. Oh, but leave your high heels on. I'll be in the back of my black Cadillac when Jesus finally comes to call his children home.
Right, this is where I'm going. Most of this is going to pinch up alright. I'm probably going to have to make the last bit for down there, but I can live with that. And it goes in at a bit of an angle, which is kind of funky. But now I've got to cut this off and then it's set up on that lip.
Let your hair down, get out of that skirt. Oh, but leave your high heels on. I'll be in the back of my black Cadillac when Jesus finally comes to call his children home.
Don't make it. What do you think of this wheel arch, Mush? But all this leaves is this piece round here, which I've not finished obviously, but I can just make that into a piece there. What I'm probably going to do with this, get this completely into place, then bolt through the chassis, and then I think I'm going to Sikaflex around that edge because I don't want to weld it. Right, there's the other one. Problem this side is it still retains the wood which is in the way, so it's just an awkward place to get out. I should have got it before. Could have just split it out.
Well, I climb the mountain, when I get to the top, oh, I find myself a honky tonk.
Okay, so I should cut this one a bit shy here, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to have to make a piece now that comes up from here and then comes and joins into this.
Where I'll sit, and I'll drink, wondering where you've gone. Well, to think how far I travel, well, just to see you one more time. If that's how you say hello, well, you can kiss my ass goodbye.
Okay, so where I'm short on this piece down here, what I'm doing is I'm going to put an edge, a wide edge all the way up there and join into here, and I'm going to cut that off and tack it to that, and then this piece can spread back to it, and I've just got to put a piece in the corner.
Let your hair down, get out of that skirt. Oh, but leave your high heels on. I'll be in the back of my black Cadillac when Jesus finally comes to call his children home.
Right, I've got to make that bit fit in there. That don't look too bad, does it? I know the welding's a bit funky at the moment, but I've just run out of gas and it's making it a bit awkward. So finally, the new Oak Swamp logo is out, and here it is. So originally I doodled this design and I gave it to Mr. Stefan Marjoram. Now if you don't know Stefan spends his time drawing or painting vintage cars, and when he's not doing that, he's taking photographs of them. He's got some brilliant work and his drawing's phenomenal. But I gave it to him and he brought it to life. It picked up on exactly what I wanted it to. It looks a bit grubby. It's got the spanners down here. It's got the nice spoke wheel. And of course, ingenuity over bucks, because that's what we're about. So I've also got these lovely warm hoodies. I've been wearing this one for a couple of days. That's why it's a bit grubby, but it's toasty. It's got a small little Oak Swamp on there. And on the back, it's got the Oak Swamp logo. So also shortly, I'm going to be doing some sticker packs and some beanies or trucker caps. Let me know your thoughts on that. Anyway, massive thanks to Stefan for doing the design, and if you guys want to support the channel, pop over to my shop and check out my new merch. Anyway, onward. At last, sun's out again. It's been doing a lot of this. Right, I've got to continue with this side. It's not quite as bad, but before I get this bit done, what I'm going to do is get this to be a bit better, because I sort of finished it, but I didn't finish it very well. So, and it's pinching a little bit. It's sort of curving that way when it should be coming in. Look, you can see from this angle, you can see how it goes out. So I'm going to give that a little bit of work, get that to be exactly where it should be, and I can get this piece in, then I'll cut this piece off, and then just push a return down there, and that'd be a good job out of the way.
Wasted all my money, never gonna get it back. Left me in the city, just the clothes on my back.
Okay, I've realigned that, leaving myself a massive gap, because I want a big gap, because I'm going to put a piece behind and weld through the free, and then I can grind this flat. It would just look like one bit of metal then. That's the idea anyway. Right, next is to put this edge on up here, so.
She was making promises by throwing them around. Took my heart, took my car and drove right out of town. Let me down, she gonna let me down.
Well, there you go. That looks a bit better. So now I'm going to just make this little triangle bit for an ear, and then that'll do. What I'm going to do with this is just get it all tacked up, and I'm going to get Dazzle over to weld it up properly. What I'll be doing is putting a bit of copper behind, so I can make full welds there. But that'll be that piece. If I can get that piece done now, I'm going to have a cup of tea, I think.
Long time gone, that girl of mine, she done me wrong. It's been way too long, that girl of mine, long time gone.
Obviously this is going to be all welded up, smoothed out, and made look as one piece. It's not perfect, but not one bit's going to be perfect, because I told you I wasn't very good at bodywork, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the overall thing that's going to matter with this. And if it's reliable, it won't matter how that looks.
Long time gone.
Fortunately, I had this bit of angle and I made it removable, and this is the lower point. And what I'm going to do, I put self-tappers down there, and then I can take it on and off if I need to.
5 years later, was in another town, gambling with some friends of mine, drinking, hanging out, never let me down, they never let me down. I stumbled from a table and heard somebody yell, "What's wrong with her?" That was that girl all messed up, looked like hell, let herself down. She gonna let herself down. Long time gone, that girl of mine, she done me wrong.
Okay, so I've pinched it at the bottom, and you can see I've rolled it around. And now what I'm going to do,
It's been way too long, that girl of mine, long time gone.
was the original panel that came off the back, so I thought I'd use it. That looks proper to me. So on to the tip jar. These guys kindly supported the channel. Sean Boo. Sean's been banging the old tip jar for a few weeks now. Cheers, Sean. Peter Spyman, Sharon Etheridge, Jonathan Farrowell, Chris Beadsmore, going off in several directions, Sean Matthews, not forgetting from down under, our man Rangy Man. A special thanks this week for a lovely birthday surprise from Mr. Casper Van Apeldoorn. Thanks a lot, dude, and thanks to all of you. I really do appreciate the support, and it's keeping this channel going. Anyway, onward. So I've got this fuel filler neck off the remains of the Colwyn, and what I'm going to do, because it's got all this nonsense soldered onto it, I'm going to cut it off here. Cut that off and then work out the way of getting from here to there. Just need a big bit of those, I suppose. So my mind inside me is screaming to get out. This dark and twisted drunken mind drowns it out with rants and shouts. Okay, this tank, this wants to be heading out somewhere around here, so. No, well that's because I'm a permanently drunken mental state. Mucky old stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's horrible and it don't want to come off. I drag myself out of this stranger's bed. Yeah. Hallway on all fours. Open up the door and crawl out to the hallway on all fours. Open up the door and crawl out to the hallway on all fours. Open up the door and crawl out to the hallway on all fours. Bedraggled and unkempt, I drag myself out of this stranger's bed. When the evening comes around again, I lace up both my boots and call out, oh my. So that's as far as I'm going to get with that for a minute, and I'll take that in the garage and I can weld that up later. So this morning, shock absorbers have arrived. Now I'm using tube shocks, and you're probably frowning, some of you. The bottom line is with this car, I want it to work, and I know these are going to work. Now I bought mini shocks, front and rear. Those will go on the front and these are going to go on the back. They're a lot weedier than I remember, but I think they're going to be alright. But the reason I use mini is you can buy uprated shocks for minis, and there's tons of them. There's Coney and Spax and all of that, Bilsteins. But I'm going to fit these anyway. And where they're going to go, that's the original shock mount just there. So I want them to go from there. I'd make a bracket off the chassis there. I haven't got the pieces that came off here. I never had them, I don't think. Inside there's a taper, so what I'm going to do is taper him so he goes in a bit, right, and then put a bolt right the way through, pinch him up really tight, he can go off the end. I've gone through my boxes to see what I could get. Now this is what I started with, this idea, but this already has a hole in it. And then I just need to put a taper on that, but I've only got one bit of it. So I looked a bit further and I come up with these, which are 10mm, which is alright because I've got loads of long 10mm, and they're quite thick, so I figure if I take them down to the same point each, I'm not sure how deep that taper is, but I'm going to set this up on a bolt and then put it in the drill and then whew. Okay, well that worked. It pinches in there. It's just about right there, so I can get a nice bracket on that. Well, that was a lot easier. I've still got to do the switching on it, but I just wanted to try it out and it works fine. Right, so I've jacked this side up to see the complete extent of this shock absorber. So if I take it to midway, the wheel can be at full tilt and it won't be weighting the shock absorber. Right, I've got this bit of a gate hinge, just 4 mil, so I'm gonna give this some stick. There you go, those work perfectly. What I'm going to do now is make a bit of a plate that goes right up to that back edge of that chassis there and comes out here and then comes out here. So it gives it the support at the top and it strengthens the chassis up a little bit there.
And don't you remember how it used to be? Well, can't you see you lost your way? And don't you remember how it used to be? Before you got so high on that cocaine.
Number one. So rain stopped play outside for a minute. It's a bit bloody cold as well. So I've come indoors. I bought this light the other day. While I've got a bit of time, I'm going to make a little bracket for this and then sit that on the back. And it's just a little job out of the way, but it's a nice glass. It's got a nice patina on it. But I'm going to take the lens out and we'll put this inside. See what's going on in there. Chilly Willy. I paid 20 quid for this on eBay. I thought that was alright. Something like this. Yeah, there we go, it's got a bulb in it as well. It's got no rubber, so I'll run a bead of silicone and that'll just hold that in place later. Right, these are all the holes I've cut out of the rat. I want something that big. I don't think there's anything big enough though. Just working on a lead, I found this bit of forged and it was at 90, so I straightened him out a bit and I'm wondering if he can do something with that. One bolt in. Now I'm having him up that way so I can use the number plate light as well.
You used all your friends, they got no time no more. It's life in the doghouse for you. You lost all your kin, well they shut up all their dogs. It's life in the doghouse for you. And don't you remember how it used to be? Well, can't you see you lost your way? And don't you remember how it used to be before you got so high on that cocaine?
little bit of tube.
For 7 long years she helped me spin my nose. Now I take her out, but she don't wanna know that.
Our old friend Mr. Industrial Flooring shows his face again.
Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of change.
Smells like someone's been doing a burnout in here.
That woman's got me drinking. We used to have some fun. Now strings and astrologers have got me on the run. That woman's got me drinking. Look at the state I'm in. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of gin.
There you go, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I think by the time it's rusted, that'll look bang on. You can really see how the back end's going to start looking now, and it looks pretty funky, doesn't it? I love the way the grill shell looks as though it's poking up. And these old shocks are working perfectly. So the next jobs I've got to do really is fit the front shocks. I want to get the steering finished, get this bracket done, put a dash in, put a floor in. Still waiting on finding a bit of metal for this boot lid. Right, if you follow the channel, you'll probably remember my mate Neil. So Neil's been interested in buying a Model T for quite some while, and he said he was going up to look at one, so I said, document it. So this is what happened.
So today you find me at Tuckett Brothers. See a guy called Neil Tuckett who has really a massive collection of Model Ts, and he sells them, services them, does more spare parts you can shake a stick at. Anyway, here I am. Yay! I think I can see my ride. No, I've got 2 to drive. So this is a 1920s right-hand drive.
Silence pervades the space that you create.
Really basic.
Like in the flesh, I crave your mind.
So she is 1920, pretty original, apparently restored in about the 60s, that sort of thing. Good job I didn't bring a checkbook. So this is the throttle, so that's increase the speed, that's idle. This is advance and retard, and then pedals on the floor. On the floor is first gear, in the middle is neutral, and there is second. That's top speed. The one in the middle is reverse, and this one here is the brake. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of time just to get your shit sorted, really, but it's fairly natural. Well, now we're going to go for a drive. So this is now neutral and first gear, off we go. And second gear. Oh my god, the fucking door's open. Just terrifying, quite frankly. I like it a lot. It's not wildly original. I like the interior. Could do with a spare wheel. For a little wander, there's some pretty epic cars. This is a Model T. I'm pretty sure it's pretty fast and terrifying. And it's still got hand throttle. However, a lot of them are converted to a foot throttle, just for ease really, because obviously holding onto the steering wheel and doing the throttle is going to be pretty terrible, but it's basically the same as the other one.
Yeah. Goodbye, my sweet. You really like my feet.
How cool is that?
And Your taste in films was hard to beat.
Back in the day, Model Ts were just made for everything. The thatched cottage, I believe Neil said that is used to belong to a thatcher. So if he was on a job for 3 days, he would sleep overnight in it. So 2-door.
Alexander Graham Bell, you bastard.
You too could have a Model T for 8 grand. If you need some Model T engine parts, they've got very little iron in the metal, so it's all just surface rust. I can see the drive plates here. Another coach. Fundamentally, they're just exactly the same. A big bus like this would have a lower gear ratio. That one's actually got some brakes on the back. So that was my trip up to Neil Tuckett's up in Winslow. I had a nice time. I drove the car I wanted to. I shall ponder the situation, whether I need or want it. And yeah, so back to mush. Bye.
Right, thanks Neil for that lovely report. And it looks like a good place to go. I wouldn't mind going up there myself. Anyway, that draws the video to the end this week. Now, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you're not subscribed at this point, please hit the old subscribe button. If you're feeling flush, pop over to the tip jar or pop to my shop and get yourself a nice new hoodie or new design t-shirt. And I will catch you dudes next time. Hang loose.
Sat at the bar and I drank my gin. When out of nowhere this woman come in. I turned around and I had to catch my breath. Set my drink down on the bar as I drank her up instead.
I'd like to do the other thing.
We all know that the year 2000 was about, well, it was last year, wasn't it?
Is he really going out with him? Anyway, that draws the video to an end. Right, thanks, Nit. Right, thanks. Is he really gonna take him home tonight? Bloody leaves on because he's cold, miss.
So that was my trip up to
Okay, lovely.